I sent a group text out to several of my family members today. My brother's wife, my two nephews and their wives, and my cousin, who is the only cousin that I have on my dad's side. And I realized, number one, I absolutely love and adore my brother. And if anyone messed with him, even though he's 17 years older than me, there would be hell to pay. I mean, like, you can run and you can hide, but you could not be found by me. That's first and foremost. Then, of course, my nephews, their wives, and their children, my nieces and nephews, and my cousin. That's my sweet pea. That's my heart. On my mother's side, might be about 5 of them that I like. I'm just not particular. I'm just going to keep it real. There's some deep-seated stuff there. And, of course, many of us have deep-seated stuff with our family members. But I want to be clear. I have to go back to the Republican and their family values platform. As much as there are people in my family that I don't particularly care for, as I'm sure many of you have people in your family that you don't particularly care for, would you put them in a cage? Okay, maybe on some bad days. But for a party to run with the platform of being the party of family values, what kind of family do you live in that you will put your family in a cage or think that that's okay? My point in all of that is all of these things that these people stand by or say that that's what they represent. How much are they really believing the things that they say, or how much even more so do they expect us to believe the things that they say? And again, I will not say that the Democrats are any better, because they're not, because they're complicit. They stand by and allow these things to happen amongst plenty of other things that I have a problem with. And I don't even know if I have enough time, because I'm hungry and I have to go eat, to really discuss all of those things in one sitting. But it's just, conversation that we must continue to have. I think that we all need to begin to be more responsible with everyone that we put into office. I don't really subscribe to voting for a person just based on the party that they're in. I believe in following the person in everything that they stand for. Again, can't expect perfection, as none of us is perfect, but I think that we have to get also past people just saying the right things to get into office. I need them to do the right things to get into office and continue to do the things that they say that they will do. Otherwise, they have to go. We can't keep putting people into office that jeopardize our lives and our livelihood. We also have to vote for people and make decisions. It's not just our lives. I know I don't have any children, but I think of my nieces and nephews, or my great nieces and my great nieces, my great nephews. I think of my friends, their children, their grandchildren, and generations to come. Because I think that many of our ancestors did the best that they could do. Well, mine maybe not so much, because we didn't get the right to vote until 65. But, we really, really, really have to do our due diligence and be more responsible and start to do a better job. I have several friends who say that they're not political. I feel very fortunate to have gone to a private school. And I remember it initially it drove me crazy, as I was only in 3rd grade, and that was the Reagan-Carter election. Might I add, Jimmy Carter is a long distance cousin, so I was really enamored by that election. And they pounded it into our heads, and I was just a little 3rd grader, 7 years old, turning 8 that year. However, I truly became politically aware at a very early age, and continued to be so, and have continued to live my life accordingly, making decisions not just of myself, but for my fellow man as well, as it is important to all of us. And I don't just think of myself, my life, and what's important to me, because I very well could be like a lot of people who run for office and say, screw the rest of you. I'm just thinking about my own bank account and I'm just trying to put more in it. I think that's the goal for many of us. And I find that it's really odd that some people think that everyone simply wants a handout. And I think that, you go back to the old saying of, give a man a fish instead of just giving them all the dollars to buy fish. You have to give people direction. You have to put things out there to help to make them better. You have to give them direction and guidance, and people don't want to do that. They either want to do one of two things: just throw cash at it and throw it away, which I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do that. But then other times, it's not just the opportunity. You have to actually meet with the people and not be afraid of people and run, or better yet, shoot and kill them and say, I feared for my life. I fear for a lot of things too, but I tried to learn about it. Like I did when my uncle, even though I love him dearly, held me upside down in this reptile park in Louisiana. And I was terrified of snakes and alligators. Now I love alligators and they taste really good, but that's another thing. But I'm still scared of spiders. I still do research. My point is, when you know better, you do better. So that would help a lot of you racists thinking that you're so much better. If I shot you or cut you open and we had the same blood type, we both could use it. And I bet you if something happened to me, would you really deny my blood? Especially if you didn't know it was mine. You take it. So I need you to really cut it out with that and look in your own life and figure out, why don't you like me and you don't even know me? But that's a whole other conversation. It's just bothering me, the state that we're in right now. And we people with common sense have to talk about it and pick up the reins and knock on some heads for the people that just don't seem to be willing to change or to understand. I'm just so disappointed right now, and I just can't be more frustrated. I'm tired. Enough is enough between, the state of politics and COVID. I'm just trying to live. I've got 2 years. I still have weight to lose, and I'm trying to be fine by 50, and you people are messing things up for me, and I really don't appreciate that. I've got things to do. I'm still trying to get a husband. There is life to live. And I know I'm kind of being funny, but kind of not, because this is very serious. This is not a game for us to play. And we can't sit idly by and have the expectation that someone else will do these things for us. We're all in this together, and it's time for us to get out there and talk to people, even when they don't listen. It's almost like repetition. If you keep saying something, someone will pick it up. But I do know that Lord Acton did not say what he said for it to be said or not be paid attention to. When he said, absolute power corrupts, or power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. If that's not true right now with these people, and again, Republicans and Democrats who are drunk with power, that's all they see. They just want control. I mean, I think back to, again, when I was following politics when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I never heard of anyone saying, or anyone in any party just strictly blaming the other party so much. I can't stand it. I just want to slap them all when they say, any Republican, it's the Democrats, the Democrats. Well, what about you? What are you doing? Or the Democrats saying, and the Republicans. Cut it out. Stop all of that. What I need you to do is your job that you were elected to do, what we pay you to do, because our taxes pay for your salary. Those taxes that you want to keep cutting, then how are you going to get paid? Because if you keep digging in mine and misusing it, and I keep talking to people, and you know how one person tells 10 and another 10, you're going to begin to have some problems, because we have had enough. The people are tired. And for those people that say, why are they rioting? That's some of the reason. It's not that people, granted, some of the people that loot are opportunists, and rioting and looting are two entirely different things. And we all know protesting is also something that's entirely different. But when you say those stupid things out of your mouth, please start taking a moment to think of the big picture, and then you will understand why. At least if you're not an idiot, and let's hope that you aren't, so that you can understand. We have to do better. You know, we have to look at what's being left for our children and their children, if this world will even be here for us to leave anything to. Because, you know, between global warming, climate change, and all of these different things, how many of you are truly paying attention, or are you just going along with everyone else? Because you can't always just listen to what people say. And I'm not talking about fake news. I'm talking about just mere intelligence and having the desire to know. Everything isn't a joke. As much as I joke and love to laugh, everything isn't funny. There are times when we really have to take a step back and not only think of ourselves, but think of others. And I can't say this enough. And typically, the person that everyone knows is always joking, because that's me. But I'm tired and I've had enough. I'm losing sleep, and that's not how I want to continue to live. I want to be happy again. And right now, I'm not, and so many other people that I know are not happy either. We all deserve better. We're worthy. And it's time for us to reclaim our lives, our livelihood, our health, because during this entire pandemic, a lot of us have lost sight of goals that we've had. We've gained some weight, and we've let other things fall by the wayside. We have been afraid to go to the doctor because we don't want to interact or come into contact with people who perhaps have COVID. So, you know, we've already had to put some surgeries behind or things like that. We've got to get back together. We've got to take our lives back, and it's time to take a stand. And for those people, back to COVID, who don't want to wear masks, it's not just about you. You keep saying your rights are being violated. My rights are being violated by you not wearing a mask, because I can't have COVID. COVID will take me out. It's not even about pre-existing conditions, although I have that. But the main issue that I have is a genetic heart defect, which I was born with, so I had absolutely no control over. But I find it funny that people think that people have control over a lot of things, that it's about the way that they eat. And some things are, but there are a lot of genetic things that you can have, like type 1 diabetes or other things that you have absolutely no control over. I have LVNC, which is lower ventricular non-compaction. So the lower chamber of my heart does not pump blood. I was born that way. I had no control over that. And it causes other things to happen, like I get lightheaded, pass out, so on and so forth. I've developed scoliosis. Again, no control over those things. So for you to want to deny me medical coverage because of things that I had no control over, I will punch you in the face. And you're stupid for wanting to think that it's okay for you and your rights, but to say screw mine. Because if it comes down to it and we have a battle of the screw yous, Michelle is going to win all day, every day. I work hard to make sure I'm about mine. And anyone who is close to me or affiliated to me in any way, shape, or form will be protected under me. And I'm quite sure you want to protect yours too. But how globally are you thinking when you're being selfish and wondering how other countries have gotten things under control and their lives are beginning to return to normal and get better? And we're still in this shape, and you're still out there talking about, I can't play football. Trust me, I love football, but you can't play if you're dead. Did you think about that? We've got to do better, people. Enough is enough. We've got to be smarter and get back to thinking not just always about ourselves. I love to think about me because I love me. I love me lots. But I'm not always the most important person. I have a mother that I love and care for dearly. She's my life, and I'd give mine for hers. But if there's no me, I can't take care of her. And that's problematic because I'd leave word for people to take care of that, meaning take care of you for being an idiot for messing with my mother. Do better, people. Enough is enough. And if 2020 has done nothing, what it should have done is made you realize or reminisce on better times and know that the future can be even better if we make better choices and not think just solely of ourselves, but we think in a global aspect of our neighbors and friends and family that we love. I hope we'll get there before 2020 is over with. That's all I've got. Have a great rest of your evening. Talk to you later. Bye.